12-size hail
Woo.
on radar.
Mercy. So that's where Rick Marinon is right now. So again, here's St. John, Owasso, west of Limestone, just to the west of Lynn Lane. Let's check in with Rick Marinon.
Yeah, James, we are in the heart of where you had called that tornado warning. Bear with me as I get behind the camera. We're going to go for a little walk down this neighborhood. This tree here is just the start of it all. We have houses without their roofs, and I tell you, it is an awful situation because these people not only had this damage here, you can see this tree over here, these people not only had damage, but then their roofs blew off, and then they had ping pong nickel-sized hail just coming into their homes. So even if they didn't have any damage to their stuff, they actually ended up getting more damage with that second round of rain. There is another home missing its shingles right there, but I'm walking towards what can easily be called one of the worst spots here. You can see some folks are going door to door when it comes to the fire crews out here, making sure everyone is okay. Bear with me here because I'm going to take you somewhere. There is insulation all over the road from one of these homes. Take a look at that. Look at that tree. That's what it's like all the way around here. But we are going to keep walking because this is one of the worst homes. There are outbuildings that are destroyed. Trees are shaved like that one there. And there are even some trees wrapped around the power lines out here as well. And here is one of the worst hit homes that I saw. Actually, they're just neighbors. You can see the garage door blew out of the home here. As I zoom in here, if this car gets out of the way. As I zoom in here, the garage door blew out of this home, crossed here, hit this home, and that is insulation from that home all the way laying out here. Now we're going to start talking to some folks and get you some more pictures of this. We will continue to stay out here and tell you the story, bring you these images first on the scene here, live in Owasso, covering news that matters. I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.
Okay, and that's where Rick was on the east side of Owasso. This is the county line. That's 145th East Avenue. So he's between 161st and Lynn Lane, just to the south of State Highway 20, up from Keatonville Hill. So in this zone on the far east side of Owasso, that's where we saw the damage. Now I'm going to move this to
really across the metro area.
Fox 23's Rick Marinon is in the Owasso area. Rick, you brought us a live report about 15 minutes ago from a neighborhood. Tell us again where you are and what you're seeing.
Clay, I'm down the block from where I was, but this is still one of the hardest hit areas. I'm not exactly sure of the exact street, but James had me pinpointed about 15 minutes ago, but I want to show you this damage because this is one of the harder hit spots. You can see this roof here. That is one of the harder hit spots, but that is exactly what we're dealing with in many of these houses out here, is that they have a part of their roof missing. Also, take a look. It isn't just one house, it is the neighbors as well. They are also starting to patch things up because they know more rain is on the way, and that is actually what's unfortunate out here is many of them had damage to their roofs, and then the rain came in for round two. As for the reports of injuries, I continue to see Owasso Fire and Owasso Police. They're making their rounds when it comes to finding out who is who and where is where, and that is what they are doing right now. So we are still waiting on those injury reports, but I'm going to zoom in here because this appears to be where the tornado mowed down a fence, and this is a back building that is also taking the brunt of this. And this is where the damage is. Now, it's not homes completely gone, but it's little sheds like this that are now just torn to pieces with tree limbs. There is insulation everywhere. Not sure about the power, but I'm willing to bet that it is out here right now. And we are going to continue to stay out here and monitor everything. And we are going to talk to some folks who rode this out in their homes. You can see just how much cleanup still needs to take place. And it's going to be a long night ahead for these folks. We will continue to stay out here, bring you more pictures, and we're going to talk to some folks now. Reporting live in Owasso, covering news that matters. I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.
Rick, thanks so much for bringing us those images. You could see those people outside even still just assessing the damage, not the way they wanted to spend the afternoon. But
and actually, Rick Marinon, let's go back to him in Owasso to check on him and see where he is in Owasso and what he's seeing now. Ricky?
Clay, I walked around these houses, spoke with these neighbors. Some of them were actually driving home from their errands, and then they came home to this. Right now, the front looks pretty good, but I went around back, and she's got all her windows blown out as well. But you can clearly see that a tornado has mowed down some of the fences out here. And also, we do know that there's the flash flood warning we just got on our phones, and there is a lot of water that is currently draining out here as well. But right now, they are all trying to secure their homes because they know the next round of storms is on the way. And I can tell you, I've lived in Oklahoma 95% of my life. It is muggy out here. It is sticky and muggy and sticky before a storm. Usually indicates that something bad is about to come down the pipe. So they're all securing their roofs, securing those holes just to get ready for that next round out here. We spoke with a bunch of families, and they actually said, and I'm not making this up, they downloaded the Fox 23 weather app, and that is how they got their notifications, because this area actually lost power. So these are some Fox 23 families out here, and they're saying great job to Ben Walnick and James Adelot. They say that is when they knew to get in the closet, and you need to download that app if you don't have it before that next round comes in. We're going to continue to stay out here. No reports of injuries so far, but a lot of people are trying to secure their roofs before this next round comes in. Live in Owasso, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marin on Fox 23 News.
So true what Rick said. It's a free download for Android and iPhone users, so don't worry if it's not going to cost you any money to do it. You can quickly set up alerts for your area and exactly where you live so that you can get them. Maybe you're saying, hey, we've got to go somewhere tonight and we're not going to be at home in front of our TV. You'll get the alerts right to your phone so you can make sure you can take cover when you need to.
A couple quick things before we get it back to Chief Meteorologist James Adelot and his team. One, you saw how quickly they worked in that neighborhood to get the tarp on the roof.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. That'll help prevent more damage when this next round of rain comes through soon. And you saw the fire truck moving behind Ricky. They're moving in those areas, making sure everybody's okay. And then on the left side of your screen, we saw Greg McLaughlin.
So they can put tarps over the holes in roofs that people have right now.
So important the work they do after almost every
Yep.
storm we see now. Fox 23's Rick Marin was among the first reporters on the ground in Owasso after the storms moved through. That first round showed us some of the damage near 106th and 170th East Avenue. Right now, he joins us again with an update on the damage and the recovery, Rick.
Clay, there was a huge rush out here to get these roofs tarped over to make sure that no water went into these homes. But I can tell you, just because this wasn't some kind of massive tornado does not mean there aren't dangers out there. Take a look at this board. We've got about 7 nails sticking out, and this is what came off of roofs in the area. So you definitely don't want to be walking around here or driving around here. We saw some folks who are being looky-loos right now trying to take pictures for Facebook. Do not do that. We will bring you all the pictures right here on Fox 23. But take a look at our video. You can see just how much damage this small spin-up tornado produced in just a couple of blocks out here in the northeast Owasso area. We're kind of just south of Highway 20, and we are told by many that this popped up very fast, and they went and headed for cover as soon as they got some kind of alert, especially on the Fox 23 weather app.
We had a big shed in the back, and it's completely gone. I mean, there's trees down, there may be roof damage. We've got roof damage, house damage. Luckily, my car didn't get damaged, but it seems like everything else did.
That was Penny Morris. She lives just a few houses behind me. However, she says right now, thankfully, it did not impact her house, just a bunch of small outbuildings. But back out here again, we want to report that there are no reports of injuries in this neighborhood right now. But again, you do have things like this laying around, and so those injuries are still possible long after the storm has passed. Live in Owasso, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marin on Fox 23 News.
Oh, you feel for her just saying that she feels like everything had some sort of damage except for her car. It'll be a cleanup process for them tonight, and then of course trying to take cover in between the rounds of storms.
Brad, that made it clear. If you're still waiting for your power to come back on, now you can see what's causing the delays out there in the Claremore area. Continuing to see some more of the damage in Owasso, where we've seen a lot of the damage all afternoon. Fox 23's Rick Marin was again one of the first reporters on the ground there with the first round of storms. He stayed through with the second round. He shows us some of the damage near 106th Street and 170th East Avenue. Let's go back to Rick in Owasso. Rick, you're showing us really just how strong some of those winds were, strong enough to tip a lot of stuff over.
Yeah, one of those things tipped over. This is an RV, and this is why we tell folks, if you're in a mobile home or an RV, do not ride out a storm like this in there. It is on its side, and I can tell you it's most likely a total loss out here. Take a look at our video. You can see just how much damage is out here. There is a clear diagonal path across the neighborhood out here of where this thing traveled, including where the trees have leaned. I did speak with one woman who actually is next door to where I'm standing. She tells me she was actually driving home, and then it was only after she arrived, after the storm had cleared the first time, that she noticed parts of her roof were missing, and that her husband rode out the storm in the room where they keep the hot water tank. Take a listen to what she had to say about her experience. She's in very good spirits for what happened to her house. Yeah.
Welcome to Oklahoma, I guess. It just happens. You know, there's nothing you can do about it, so you just smile and.
Are you able to live in your home tonight? Or are you gonna have to go somewhere?
That's yet to be determined. It's they're just trying to get the roof covered with tarps and stuff, so it doesn't rain in.
And that was the big concern out here, was not only just the damage and some things torn apart, all of these roofs had to be tarped before that second round came in, because a lot of people were afraid that the rain was going to come in and soak things that they were actually able to salvage. A lot of these things lost were actually just out of the attic area. This is one of the worst spots back out here in Owasso. You can see this truck was parked in the garage. The garage fell on top of the truck, and everything inside of the truck, or excuse me, the garage is now blown. Likely about half a block down is where I've seen some of these things that are obviously not from the outside of any home. We're going to continue to stay out here. We'll have another update for you on Fox 23 News at 9 o'clock. Live in Owasso, covering news that matters. I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.
It's tough to see all that damage, but what a great attitude she has about it. We've also brought you coverage from the air today. This is